Sami discovers that his business partner, Haris Ahmed, is a wanted murderer on an Interpol Red Notice list.
I felt that I have been used as a tool to provide a passage to a safe country for this man who established business with my assistance. And I felt that Mr. Haris and General Aziz have used me. I thought of reporting him to the police, but again, I was fearful of my life.
Sami tries to cut ties with the Ahmed clan. But when he does, the general sends him threatening emails.
General Aziz became very violent with his words. He became very furious. He sent me emails where he directly threatened me. And he said that if his brother has to return to Bangladesh, then people responsible will regret their life.
General Aziz keeps trying to draw Sami into his web. He's moving his money out of Bangladesh for life after the military. He wants to find businesses to invest his money in. By 2019, Sami's had enough, but he goes along with their schemes. Except now, he's working with the I Unit. Haris is flying in from a business trip.
Assalamu alaikum. ভালো আছেন?
এই যে মিস্টার রহমান, আমি রহমান from Canada.
Haris arrives with Mohammed Rahman, a financial advisor from Canada. Rahman runs an immigration service that helps wealthy Bangladeshis acquire residency abroad. Haris's assistant is with the team. Yusuf Ali handles Haris's bookkeeping.
কোথায় গেলেন?
ফ্রান্স থেকে গেলাম মরক্কো থেকে টার্কি থেকে নাইলাম।
ঘুরতে গেছিলেন?
The discussion turns to Haris's political influence in Bangladesh. His associates know Haris has connections to the Prime Minister.
আপনি মন্ত্রী হবেন কবে? আপনি মন্ত্রী হবেন কবে?
মন্ত্রীকে কি করবো? মন্ত্রী তো না চাই আমি।
Despite his apparent lack of business success, Haris has significant sums of money to invest. Haris and Rahman want to buy a hotel. Sami is showing them around.
How many rooms do you have?
66.
66 rooms.
এটা কত টাকা চাই?
এটা 7.2 million euro.
7.2 billion বাংলা কত টাকা? ওই হোটেলটা more viable than this one.
The Bay of Bengal, the umbrella company for Haris's investments, has an office in this building. It's above a goulash restaurant, owned by Haris. Next door is an unlicensed foreign exchange bureau. That too belongs to Haris. It's manned by his assistant, Yusuf Ali. Yusuf confirms to Sami that Haris's main source of funds is government contracts from Bangladesh.
কোন ধরনের ব্যবসা উনি ইনভলভ, কোন ধরনের কাজ উনি
এটা আসলে ওই যে মিনিস্ট্রি বা এই সমস্ত বা আরো সরকারি লেভেলের কোন দান্দা করছে এগুলো আমার ধারণা।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা,
হয়তো মামু লাগবে, না হয় মামুর জোর লাগবে।
A letter from the Bay of Bengal company contains a proposal for a consignment of military bunk beds. It's addressed to the Director General of Border Guards Bangladesh, the BGB. It's dated November 2015. The Director General of the BGB is Haris's brother, Aziz. Patronage appears to provide Haris with ample earning opportunities.
পরের গত ইলেকশনে তো আমার সামনে দেখছি কতজনে দান্দা ওনারে যে বলছে ভাই আমার একটা নমিনেশন দিয়ে দেন, আমি 5 কোটি টাকা দেবো।
সিরিয়াসলি?
Yusuf says that Haris acts as a middleman and fixes army contracts for the right price.
হাসান মিয়া এগুলো ইচ্ছা করলে ব্যক্তিগতভাবে কিছুটা আমি ক্লিয়ারলি বলতে পারবো না কি, 2-4 কোটি টাকা, এই 2-4 কোটি না, 30-40 কোটি টাকা মিনিমাম কামাই নিছে কত কয়েকদিনে।
30-40 কোটি টাকা? ও।
The I unit obtains evidence that Haris Ahmed is establishing an investment portfolio outside of Hungary. Using the same false identity, he builds a French business empire. In 2018, he buys a stake in a company which deals in computers and IT. The company has 2 registered offices. One on the outskirts of Paris sells mobile phones and offers international money transfer services. The pace picks up in 2019. In the space of just 7 months, Haris buys stakes in 4 more companies. In April, he found Snigdha, which owns a fast food outlet. Then in May, he buys a stake in a retail company called TPTY. He sells it shortly after. This pattern and style of doing business is not inconsistent with money laundering.
The construction of companies, company types, jurisdictions, bank accounts, the whole range of activities that he has been involved in are entirely consistent with schemes put together to funnel criminal funds through the system in order to make them look legitimate. There is absolutely the ability to hide in plain sight, so the busier the financial centre, the easier it is to lose a bit of dirty money in it.
In June 2019, he registers the Bay of Bengal in France, which owns an Indian restaurant. And in November, another new company called Info Bay of Bengal. This store is at the company's registered address. He's connected to 3 properties in the Paris suburbs, including one with an estimated value of nearly $500,000. Corporate filings reveal a buying spree by Haris, who's moving money into France under his fake European Union residency.
It's introducing the money into the system, layering, moving that money between lots of different companies and countries, and then integration, putting it back into the real economy. Well, what better place to put it back into than property? It is the traditional home of dirty money.
Haris's role as a middleman includes working with private companies in Europe that wish to invest in Bangladesh. Mohammed Rahman, the Canadian businessman, comes to help Haris negotiate a potential deal worth a fortune. Haris and Rahman are told that British financiers are looking to invest millions of dollars in the hotel trade in Bangladesh. Sami organises a video conference with a British investment firm. Haris uses his assumed name.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hello. Hey, gentlemen. Yes, hello.
Hi. Mom Hassan.
Mohammed, pleased to meet you.
So my name is Mr. Rahman from
Rahman.
Canada, Vancouver.
Pleased to meet you too.
But this is not what it seems. The representative of the investment firm is working for the I Unit.
To do something in Bangladesh is really great idea, but there's some problems because of still this political issues and a little bit corruptions. Of course, although the country is coming up has such a problem. But good things for Mr. Hassan because he is very well connected with the high officials, very connected with the government, especially the Prime Minister herself.
In return for his high-level contacts, Haris demands a commission of 20%.
Just 1 second, please.
He breaks down the fake investment proposal.
$100,000 dollar or euro or 100 billion. এটা ইনভেস্ট করতে হবে যদি 5 স্টার বা এনি বিজনেস ঢাকা করতে চায় ফর ল্যান্ড বাই পারচেজ এত মিলিয়নের নিচে কোনো সুইটেবল ওই ধরনের ব্যবসা হবে না আমাদের যেটা উই টেক 20% ফর অল নেগোটিয়েশন
Then Rahman spells out how they work.
Then he will send this letter to his elder brother and will officially visit your place to talk a little bit more. If needed, we'll call our High Commission in London. So High Commission people also will be in the meeting to make it real official something. Then he can take this proposal to our Prime Minister and the army chiefs, which looks better and solid and concrete. So his company will be your consultant for Bangladesh. Basically, at this moment, his elder brother is running the country, in fact, because our Prime Minister leave everything to army chief to run the country for the big developments. This is his brother, actually.
Sheikh Hasina must call an election. A year earlier, she'd appointed Aziz head of Border Guards Bangladesh. As her Awami League government faces election defeat, the BGB becomes involved in overseeing the vote.
Aziz was head of the BGB. His role was to quieten the opposition, prevent them taking control of the streets, preventing them being a political force which the government couldn't deal with. He was very proud of that, and he said that he was the one who handed those elections to Sheikh Hasina. And it was a very crucial moment. It was very possible at that time that the Awami League government could have fallen.
A few years later, Sheikh Hasina visits Aziz to discuss his future. The general believes his loyalty is about to be rewarded.
আমাকে মহামান্য বলেছে মহামান্য নিজে বলেছে আমাকে বলে যে আলী সাহেব আপনি একটা মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী এসে আমার সাথে তখন যখন কথা বলছে বলে যে আমি চিন্তা করছি there is no other alternative but ইয়াতে এটা
For the general's career to advance, his brother's murder convictions would need to be dealt with.
এবং এই যে আপনার ভাইদের অন্যান্যদেরকে জিনিস করছে এটা কিন্তু ওনার পরিকল্পনা অনুযায়ী এই ধরনের যে তার এটা হওয়ার আগে তাদের এগুলো সব ক্লিয়ার করতে হবে আমাকে নিজে হলো উনি আমার সাথে আলোচনা করে গেছে
The plan includes getting Aziz's youngest brother out of jail. Joseph had already had his death sentence commuted to life in prison. For 11 years, he'd been on death row.
আর ভাইরে কিন্তু চলে যেতে পারতো না এমন না যে অন্য পার্টি থেকে হলো তাদেরকে তখন বলে নাই এই চলে আসো কিন্তু ওরা তো বেইমানি করে নাই ওরা তো রাজি হয়নি কখনো ওই রক্ত নাই বেইমানি করে
In 2018, on the advice of the Prime Minister, Joseph is granted a presidential pardon. Tasneem Khalil is told about the pardon by a source in the military.
I was a bit surprised that why this army person is talking to me about a top criminal getting a pardon, because I did not make that connection instantly. And then he started laughing, and then he said, "You realize one cannot become the chief of the army when his brother is in prison on murder charges."
A month later, General Aziz Ahmed becomes army chief.
I mean, that's when I realized, okay, he's talking about General Aziz, and this is not really about Joseph, the criminal, but it is about Aziz, the general.
It's pretty extraordinary. Sheikh Hasina thought that General Aziz was an appropriate person to appoint as Chief of Army Staff. So you have to ask, why was she so willing to take that risk?
In December, Sheikh Hasina holds another election. General Aziz helps her consolidate power.
In 2018, Army played a very active role and assisted the massive rigging that went on in nearly every voting center in Bangladesh.
The leader of the opposition and Hasina's longtime rival, Khalida Zia, is in jail. Others detained and never seen again.
Sheikh Hasina has been very, very upfront and transparent about her goal of destroying the opposition. She's basically trying to brand herself and her family as being synonymous with the state.
The opposition has been significantly repressed. They can barely function as an opposition. The law enforcement authorities have been able to act with tremendous impunity in relationship to extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances, which have to some extent become systemic now within the whole way in which the country operates.
The I Unit has obtained documents that reveal how Bangladesh's security forces gather information on Sheikh Hasina's opponents. The files include a contract to purchase spyware dated June the 26th, 2018, the day after General Aziz took control of the army. It is stamped and signed by the Directorate General Defence Purchase, the body charged with buying Bangladesh's military supplies.